It started so small, I didn't even think it mattered. A message here, a memory there, just words, harmless, nostalgic words from someone I used to know. That's what I told myself, at least. I thought I could control it. I thought I could draw a line between the past and my present life. But love, once buried, has a way of whispering through cracks you didn't even realize were there. My ex, Daniel, was the kind of person who never really left your mind. He was wild, charming, the kind of man who made you feel like the center of the world. But he also broke me, in ways I didn't know how to explain back then. He was my first real love, the one who knew how to make me laugh even when I wanted to cry, but he was also the one who made me cry more than anyone else ever could. When I met James, my husband, everything changed. He was calm, reliable, patient. He loved me quietly, deeply, without chaos. He gave me the kind of peace I had been craving for years. With him, I finally felt safe. I finally felt seen. And for the first time in a long time, I believed in something steady, something real. But somewhere along the way, Daniel found his way back into my life. It began innocently enough. Hey, how are you doing? Message that popped up one night when I couldn't sleep. I stared at it for a few minutes before replying. Just one word, fine. That one word opened the door I should have kept locked. At first, we just talked about life. He'd ask about my job, my family, how I'd been. I kept it polite, detached. But soon, our messages became more personal. He remembered details about me, my favorite coffee order, the way I used to hum when I was nervous, the nickname he used to call me. I told myself it didn't mean anything. I told myself it was just conversation. But I started waiting for those messages. Every night, around the same time, my phone would light up. And for a few minutes, I'd feel something I hadn't felt in years. That rush of attention, that spark of being wanted. I didn't realize how dangerous it was becoming until I caught myself smiling at his texts, my heart beating faster with every new message. James noticed the change before I did. He's observant like that, quiet, but always aware. Who keeps texting you so late? He asked one evening, his voice casual, but his eyes sharp. I froze. Just a friend from work. I lied. It was the first time I'd lied to my husband. The words came out so easily it scared me. He nodded, didn't press, but I saw the doubt flicker across his face. Days turned into weeks, and Daniel kept texting. Sometimes it was just small talk, other times he'd send things like, I miss how we used to talk like this. Or, I'll always care about you no matter what. I told myself I didn't feel the same way, that I was just being nice, that I didn't want to be rude. But the truth was, I was addicted to the attention. Then one night, everything changed. James came home early from work. I was sitting on the couch, smiling at my phone, completely lost in another one of Daniel's messages. I didn't even hear the door open. Who's making you smile like that? He asked softly. I jumped, hiding my phone like a guilty teenager. His tone wasn't angry, just calm. Too calm. That made it worse. No one, I said, my voice trembling. He walked closer, his eyes never leaving mine. Can I see? In that moment, I knew I had two choices, lie again or tell him the truth. And for some reason, I chose the truth. It's Daniel, I said quietly. He texts me sometimes. James stood there for a long moment, just staring at me. Then he said something I'll never forget. You said you deleted his number. I didn't know what to say. My throat went dry. I didn't think it mattered. It's nothing, I swear. We just talk. He took a deep breath, the kind of breath you take before everything inside you collapses. Every night, he asked. I couldn't speak. My silence said it all. He turned away from me then, walked to the window, and stared out for what felt like forever. I tried to reach for him, to explain, but he lifted his hand and said quietly, please don't. That single phrase cut deeper than any yelling ever could. He didn't scream. He didn't accuse. He just shut down. Over the next few days, the distance between us grew into a wall. He'd come home late, barely talk to me. The warmth in his eyes was gone. When I tried to explain that it wasn't an affair, that it was just texting, he said, you don't have to touch someone to betray them. That sentence haunts me, because he was right. I deleted Daniel's number that night, blocked him on everything, but it didn't matter. The damage was already done. James had seen something in me he couldn't unsee. The version of me who had chosen curiosity over commitment, validation over respect. One evening, I came home to find James sitting on the edge of our bed with a small bag packed. My heart dropped. Where are you going? I asked, panic rising. He didn't look up. I don't know yet, he said. But I need to go somewhere where your phone doesn't buzz at midnight. That broke me. I fell to my knees, begging him to stay, telling him I loved him, that I was stupid, that it didn't mean anything. Tears streamed down my face, but he just looked at me, not with anger, but with something worse, disappointment. You are my peace, he said softly, but I guess you missed the chaos. And then he left. He didn't take everything, just enough to get by. The quiet after he left was unbearable. The house felt empty, cold. My phone stayed silent for the first time in weeks, but it was the silence I couldn't stand. It's been months now. I still replay that night in my head, the look on his face when I admitted it. People say texting isn't cheating, but I know better now. Emotional betrayal is still betrayal. Sometimes I still scroll through old pictures of us. Birthdays, lazy Sundays, small smiles that once felt eternal. And I think about how easily I let something so real slip through my hands. I thought I could keep both, the thrill of nostalgia and the safety of love. But in trying to have both, I lost everything. If I could go back, I'd delete that message the moment it appeared. I'd choose silence over curiosity, loyalty over ego. Because sometimes, the things we think are harmless are the very things that destroy us. And now, every night, when my phone stays dark, I realize what I really lost. Not just a husband, but the man who loved me when I didn't even love myself enough to stay true.